Hello, hello, how are you? It is Claire Ackers here, coming to you live from Sunnybank Mills in Farsley. It is Thursday afternoon, a pretty nice and sunny Thursday afternoon actually, and I am absolutely thrilled to be here. So if you are watching me live, if you're tuning in, please say hello in the comments. And if you're watching the replay and catching up a little bit later, then please say hello with #replay. Enjoy this conversation, and I would love to know what you think of this one. Can we talk about the wobbles? The wobbles. So the wobbles, they are, let's face it, they are part of the price of doing business. I would love it. I would love to be able to say that everything is going to be plain sailing and go perfectly and you'll have a nice smooth trajectory in your business. But the wobbles are absolutely part of the price of doing business. And every single entrepreneur, unless they're, a massive ego-driven nutcase, every entrepreneur has moments of self-doubt and am I really cut out for this, and dark nights of the soul, where they think, I cannot do this. Am I really worthy? Am I really good enough to be able to run a business? Moments where you feel like you are just not as successful or as wealthy as you feel you should be for the amount of effort that you're putting in. You're just so frustrated. And you are tempted to just jack it all in, to give it all up and go and get a job. Have you ever had that? And the conventional wisdom out there says that we need to push through, that we need to just believe in ourselves and make it happen at all costs, that we should fake it until we make it. And I wholeheartedly, unreservedly disagree with this. Fundamentally disagree with this. And in this conversation today, I am going to tell you why. And I'm going to offer some suggestions about what you can do instead if you are having the wobbles. My name is Claire Ackers. I am an authenticity and alignment coach for female founders, for female entrepreneurs who are trying to grow a values-led business. They want to do it differently. I am here and I am available for those women because you are brave. You are absolutely brave. And I have had all the wobbles myself. So the reason I want to talk about the wobbles today, let me share some case studies. These are real life case studies from clients that I'm working with. Obviously, I have changed names to protect anonymity, but I think they just illustrate that hopefully some situations that you might resonate with. So case study one is an individual inside my group coaching program, Audacity. So Audacity is for female entrepreneurs who want to rip up the rule book and to grow aligned and impactful businesses. To be inside Audacity, you've got to be brave. You've got to be courageous because I ask you to take massive action, exciting, impactful, game-changing action, but brave action. And that can take people out their comfort zones. Of course it can. And this particular individual has taken massive action this week, and she is feeling so far out of her comfort zone, and that is giving her the wobbles. She is actually considering giving up and going back to being a freelancer as opposed to trying to grow a business. The wobbles have just got her right in the gut thinking, oh my gosh, this feels scary. I'm not sure I want to do it. Case study two is even stronger than that. So she's really struggling. She is actually on the verge of quitting and going and getting a job. She's applying for jobs. She's actively applying for jobs at the moment. And she has got huge blocks around financial scarcity, and the need for financial security, and they're really, really giving her the wobbles. She's petrified. Many, many dark nights of the soul, and it's a really, really tough place to be in her world at the moment. And then case study 3 is another client who is so frustrated about where she is at the moment. She feels like for the effort that she is putting into her business, for how intelligent she is, for how good she is at what she does, for how much she wants it, that she should be far further down the line at the moment than she currently is with the business. And she's feeling really rotten about it. She's frustrated. She's agonizing. She's kind of doubting herself and thinking, am I really that good enough? She's thinking, why aren't I rich? Why haven't I got the freedom in my life that I set up in business for in the first place? Why am I still not seeing my kids in daylight? And just kind of reach that place of, is this all worth it? Is this all worth it? Can I really do it? Am I really cut out for this? Let me know if you feel this. Let me know if you've ever felt like this, whether this idea, these concepts, these case studies resonate with you. They're so common. They're so, so common. And there are a few things that I'd like to share with you that I've recommended to my clients that they go and do, and that might help you as well. So if you've ever felt like this, go make some notes and let me know if it helps you. So the first thing I want you to know is this whole idea of contraction. When you put yourself out there in business, when you do something brave, when you make a change, you are in expansion. Expansion takes energy, it takes bravery, it takes courage, and it takes you way out of your comfort zone. So that is your expansion. And then, of course, because we have duality in this world, we have dark and light, we have illumination, we have shadow, we have yin and yang. We also have expansion and contraction. And so the wobbles, another way of looking at them is that they are just a contraction. You've expanded, you feel awesome, you feel excited, but then you have the opposite reaction, which is contraction, where you feel scared, you feel alone, you feel stupid, you feel like an imposter. So I think just knowing that in itself can be really helpful, that the contraction after the expansion is totally normal to be expected. Even just knowing that, having that self-awareness can help. And then the second thing I want to share is, we've touched upon it a little bit already, but the bravery required in the first place to be an entrepreneur is absolutely phenomenal. The odds are stacked against you. You have to be out of your comfort zone on a many times a day, not even once daily, every single day, many times a day. You've got to be brave and you've got to be out your comfort zone, making decisions, making calls, backing yourself. And so wobbles are absolutely and naturally a part of this because, well, that brings us on to point number 3, imposter syndrome. This is another part of imposter syndrome. So your subconscious is all the time, it's trying to keep you safe. Not happy, not successful, not wealthy. It's just trying to keep you safe. And so every time you step outside your comfort zone, your subconscious, your imposter, your saboteur, your limiting beliefs will pop up and try and do anything to sabotage you and bring you back into your comfort zone, even if it's not serving you. Because if you're in your comfort zone, you are safe. So goes your caveman brain, basically. Hopefully that makes sense. And then alongside this as well, point number 4 I want to make is it's about paradigms. I mentioned my client before who has got huge blocks around money, around financial scarcity, about what it means to be an entrepreneur, about that good girls don't talk about money, that it's greedy to want to charge appropriately, that she should be doing more for charity, that she should be saving more, that she shouldn't be having a nice life and freedom. And so those old money stories, those paradigms are playing out in her world, and she is attracting situations and things and people that are sabotaging her results. And so she's feeling really, really tempted to go and get a job because she can't seem to break out of those old paradigms, and that is giving her the wobbles. Um, Another point I want to mention, and this I think is especially true of female entrepreneurs, specifically working mums. We haven't got the luxury of a clear run at building a business. Is it's a massive problem because um, we're expected to keep everything. We're expected to be superwoman, essentially. Expect to keep everything going at home, be there for the kids, cook nutritious meals, have enriching conversations, have a friendship, have a relationship, look after ourselves, have physical and health goals, as well as building a business. It's the pressure to have it all, and it's paralyzing. And if you are trying to do all those things, then of course you're having the wobbles because you feel like you're failing because you are not superwoman. Um, and so here's the thought I want to mention. Entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, working mum entrepreneurs, they overestimate what they can achieve in a year. However, they underestimate what they can achieve in a decade. And just take a moment and let that thought settle in, because it's quite an important one, I think. You overestimate and beat yourself up because you're frustrated, you haven't got further than you want to get in a year, and yet you underestimate what you can achieve in a decade. And so the message here is to keep going. And then the final point I want to make is an exercise. It's an exercise that I'd like to invite you to do, and it's one that's really, really helped me if I felt frustrated, if I felt the wobbles, and it's called the reverse gap. Now, the whole point of the reverse gap is to measure just how far we've come. Because like me, like my clients, like a lot of the women in my world, we are so busy context switching and running at pace at all the things that we forget to celebrate and recognize all the amazing milestones that have happened along the way. So the reverse gap is, you basically sit down, get pen and paper, and you plot out when you started in business, and then you mark down today's date, and then you look backwards and you write down every single little thing that you have achieved so far. And there will be so many more than you originally think, because we overlook things, we move on to the next thing, we don't stop to celebrate all the little milestones along the way. So that's the reverse gap exercise, and do it. Just sit down, take some time and do it, and let me know how you get on. I bet there are so many different things that you have done that you forgot to even stop and celebrate. Okay, so this is all I wanted to talk about today. Hopefully you can see that the wobbles are natural. They are part of business, but they do not need to stop you. Be self-aware, take steps to carry on regardless, but do it in an aligned way that feels awesome to you. One more final point I want to make before I let you go for today, and that is, if you are growing a values-led business, would you like to benchmark how you are doing with your authenticity and alignment score? Of course you would. Why wouldn't you? I've created a free quiz to help you do just that, to benchmark how you're doing. It's free. It will take you 3 minutes and you will get a personalized score and feedback, plus some practical, actionable steps on how you can improve your score. Like today, you can start to improve your score and take control of those wobbles. So there's a link to take that scorecard in the notes for this conversation. Please go do take it. Let me know how you get on with it. And thank you for being here, and I will see you next time.